Hey, and welcome to Middle Ground Books After Hours.
My name's Megan.
I am Deborah.
And I'm Lance. Happy Decemberween.
Yay!
Tonight, as promised, we are going to be talking about...
Christmas children's books.
Yes, and I'm not going to participate very much. I'll just play the stooge in this role.
You don't like Christmas children's books?
You know, I didn't really do Christmas children's books really at all as a kid. And then as an adult, I kind of hated them on principle.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's some nice ones. And
Decemberween.
There's
Not
some
even
that
How
are
the
not
Grinch
as
Stole Christmas?
Well, I mean...
a classic. How can you not?
Anything that was made into a made-for-television special for Christmas. So, like, what's the Christmas Charlie Brown? Like, what is it?
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Wow. That's a difficult name. Or, you know, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That one is horrible. I watched it as a child and thought nothing of it, but I watched it maybe 2 or 3 years ago in a kindergarten classroom with a kindergarten teacher, and she and I were just looking at one another like, is this how it always was? This is horrifying.
We don't
I
like
want
you
to
if
be
you're
a
useful.
dentist.
No, I mean, that's fine. I'm glad he wanted to be a dentist. It was more like there was like a scene where, you know, Rudolph's little girlfriend is lost. The mom is like, let's go find her. And the dad is like, no, you're a woman. You stay home. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, if my child were lost, you and I would be out there together. We would not be like, you would not be like, you stay home. Like, what the crap?
Unless it was like hunting season.
Okay, yes. You would want to save me from being shot. I can accept that. Anyway, no Rudolph. We're not recommending Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Although I really do like the Island of Misfit Toys.
It's pretty good.
Island of Misfit Toys, like that should be...
But that's like not only a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer thing. Like they do that in that TV movie, but it was an older idea. Like Frank Baum, who did The Wizard of Oz, he came up with that first, I think. Because I looked into it. I think that's right. I know that he did definitely have a story that involved that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But now actually talking about actual children's books.
Okay, I would highly recommend Jan Brett because she is an amazing illustrator and she's done so many wonderful both Christmas and just winter and general themed books. For instance, there's The Mitten and the Hat, which are just, you know, wintry.
Yeah.
About clothing items?
Yeah, but about other things too. And they're really fun. The Mitten especially is about community.
I mean, yeah.
But there are ones that are specifically about Christmas. Like,
Are the mittens tied together? Because that was
No, it's just a singular mitten. It's just the mitten.
Because the great thing about mittens that are tied together, you could just pull one hand and he'd punch himself in the face. Like,
yes. No, the mitten, the mitten is a white mitten and it's made for a child. And the maker of the mitten is like, I don't know that white's a good color, but the child wants white. And sure enough, the child loses one mitten in the snow. And then some animals decide to take advantage of it. And it's a very cute story.
They're like, oh, this looks warm and nice. Yeah, I love her illustrations. They're very detailed and they're very, there's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nice to, you know, have the child on your lap reading and looking at the pictures and seeing what they notice.
For sure. It's like it's a cuddle together and spend some time kind of book. It's not, I wouldn't use that for a read aloud if I were like reading to a large group, because to me, the joy in Jan Brett books, like you said, are the details and sharing it together and exploring it together.
Yeah,
but
she had a new one come out that we had at the store called the Christmas Sweater.
Yes.
So that one is for sure a Christmas one.
She kind of seems to do a new one each Christmas.
Yeah.
She
had a new one
last year. There
Christmas.
was a retelling of
The Nutcracker, right? Was that the one?
No, last year was the retelling of Alice in Wonderland. That was
in a winter wonderland.
And it was in Alaska.
Fargo?
Because no, she had taken a trip to Alaska, and so she sort of reframed Alice in Wonderland in that locale and with animals from Alaska and so on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But there's also she did a version of the Nutcracker, which Theodore, our grandson, likes very much because he's into the Nutcracker. And there's the Gingerbread Baby, and she even did The Night Before Christmas. So
yes.
I would highly suggest you can get countless different versions of The Night Before Christmas, but I recommend hers for the reason that Megan was saying, that it has beautiful illustrations that you can share together and enjoy. So that's a few. I'll be quiet. Let Megan have a turn.
I don't know where to start. So I have several. Being a children's librarian, of course, I'm like, oh, that one's cute and that one's cute. So I tried to narrow it down. One that I think it was new last year, and we read it at a story time at the store last Christmas season, was called How Does Santa Go Down the Chimney by Mac Barnett. And
Is it illustrated by John Clausen?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, I love his illustrations. He did like That Is Not My Hat.
So yeah, it's just a fun like exploration of like imagining how all the ways, how in the world could Santa fit down a chimney? Or what if you don't have a chimney? How would he get in your house? They imagine very creative ways of Santa being able to make it to various children's homes to give the presents.
So it's like a guide for B&E.
Yeah.
I believe that
Maybe.
I believe that one of them he goes through the kitchen faucet.
Yeah. It's very creative ways for some of these. But yeah,
Santa got in because he had a universal garage remote.
You know, I honestly remember wondering about that as a child because our house, we didn't have a fireplace.
Sure.
I mean, we had a chimney, but it was connected to the furnace. So
Right.
it's like, that's not going to work. If he goes down that chimney, he's just going to be stuck in the furnace.
You needed this book as a child. Another one, there's one that we've had at the store called Elmore the Christmas Moose. And it's pretty fun because, yeah, he's a moose and sees an ad that Santa needs a new reindeer. And so he is like told, like he keeps writing to Santa Claus to apply for the position of reindeer, but he can't fly, which is a problem. So he has to figure out, okay, how can I fly? And so he's coming up with solutions on how he can still be a reindeer, even though he's a moose. And it's very cute.
Please tell me that there are like 4th of July rockets involved at some point.
I'm trying to
I'm
remember.
thinking of a Mythbusters
Probably.
episode.
Yeah.
There's also one called Murray Christmas, and it's about a dog named Murray who's, you know, a patrol dog, a guard dog for his human's house, and takes that job very seriously.
Aren't all dogs
yes,
guard dogs?
but he takes that very seriously, and he's noticing all these strange things happening. There's a tree in the house, and there's socks hanging up by the fireplace, and then there's a strange intruder that's in their house wearing red.
Does he
and
bite him?
He barks at him a lot and chases him. Oh, yeah, but it's very cute.
You know, that's a house.
Does Murray get maced?
No.
But like the FedEx and UPS drivers, they have to deal with dogs. So, I mean, Santa might have to deal with that too.
And I think they mentioned that actually in that How Does Santa Go Down the Chimney book, it talks about Santa leaving treats for the dogs.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
That good doggo, he's going to guard the house.
Of course. And then another picture book that it's just a classic, but it's the 12 Days of Christmas, but the author illustrator is Greg Pizzoli,
who does wonderfully amusing illustrations.
Yes. And so it's just the 12 Days of Christmas, the traditional way, but like the illustrations are what really make it because, you know, all those things that are gifted throughout the song are being gifted to this family of elephants, and they become more and more exasperated by all of these like birds and drummers and like all the things.
Like, what would you do with all that stuff?
It's true.
Yeah.
But the illustrations that are very cute.
What are you thinking, sir?
I'm just listening.
What would you do with all those traditional gifts?
Sell them on eBay.
Chickens and
9 ladies dancing, 11 lords
I have
leaping.
9 ladies leaping. Bidding starts at $8.
5 golden rings.
hey, you could get a lot probably for some gold rings.
You know, pawn shop, it's typically 5 to 1. That's what the value
Okay, did you have more,
so.
Debbie? I only had one more, so I'm going to like maybe be quiet
The only
for a
one
minute.
that I really was thinking of is the Stickler Christmas
Oh,
because
yes.
that's a good one.
It's so fun.
I like it when because Stickler
Who's
thinks
the author on that? I don't remember.
Lane Smith.
Oh, that's right.
Stickler thinks that a stick is wonderful because, like, think of all the things you can do with a stick.
It's true.
A stick is not just a stick. And so he is going around giving all of his friends a stick. And there's one, I can't remember who he's going to and giving a stick. And he's like all excited. And the recipient is like, it better not be a stick. And it's like, it's a stick.
That is a stick. Yeah. And Stickler, if you haven't seen those books, he's just like this little kind of troll-looking creature, like
He's really
forest
cute.
troll
Yeah.
kind of thing. I don't really know what he is exactly, but he's
Stickler.
Is he from like a D&D manual? Like, can you find him in a monster manual?
looks very
He's got
troll.
like 8 hit points.
no, he's very troll-like and just a little like forest-dwelling creature. And yeah,
He's a
in this
cute-
one, he keeps
he's
handing
kinda
out
like-
sticks to people. For
Is he a
gifts.
stick man?
No, not Stick
No,
Man.
he's kind of like a little furry guy. He's not like an actual animal.
I was comparing him to a troll because I don't know. Like that's the closest thing I could compare him to. But there's a couple different books featuring this character.
I mean, the first one is Stickler, and then Stickler Christmas is sort of the follow-up. If you're already a fan of Stickler, you'll love Stickler Christmas.
Yes. The Christmas one is actually very cute.
I like it. Because I think part of what's cool about Stickler is just like the use of imagination and that something can be so many other things if you only use your imagination. Yeah.
Well, just as a note, you hear the trotting in the background. Every Thursday, what time do the carriage rides start, Debbie?
From 5 o'clock on Thursdays in December. So the upcoming Thursdays will be December 11th and December 18th. There will be carriage rides in downtown Emporia. There's also the ESB skating rink. So you'll definitely want to check that out. Start a new holiday tradition.
Yeah, lots of holiday cheer to be had downtown.
And if you're downtown shopping and doing all those things and you get cold, come into Middle Ground Books. We're open until 8 p.m. on the 11th and 9 p.m. on the 18th. And we'll give you some free hot chocolate or hot tea. And you can hang out, shop, warm up.
I'm a little bit curious just on how the ESB skating rink thing is going to work. Because it's like, it hasn't really been that cold.
It was like 40-something degrees today.
So are they freezing it out there?
I don't know.
I don't know how it works, but
We'll have to go check it out.
I will watch. I'm not a skater.
I think it's a great holiday tradition. We took our kids ice skating downtown when we lived in Chicago, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you out skating and also carriage riding and all the other things. And then we'll go back to talking about books.
Were you going to talk about one?
Well, no, you should talk about your last one.
Okay, so the last one is actually not a picture book. It's a middle grade book that I read around the holidays last year. Mm-hmm. And it was very cute. So it's about these two girls that are twins that were separated at birth and adopted by two different families. And they meet by chance. And
This sounds like The Parent Trap.
it is, but it's not like The Parent Trap because they're not trying to hook their parents up. They don't even know who their birth mother is. One girl is adopted by a family that celebrates Christmas, and one girl is adopted by a family that celebrates Hanukkah. And so they want to experience each other's holiday, so they switch places.
And it probably goes just about as well as you would expect.
Yeah, there is the one girl, like, she's been an only child, and then now she has a little brother. And so the little brother, like, knows right away, like, who are you? You're a stranger.
You're not my sister.
You're an
The
imposter.
parents couldn't pick that up, but the kid brother, like, he knew right away. Like, the parents are like, oh, this one, looks close enough to ours.
Well, I mean, they are twins, but they're very different personality-wise, and so they have to, like, pretend to be each other, and it was really cute.
You did not tell us the title or the author.
Oh, yeah, that might be important.
It's a book. Just, you can
About
find
twins.
a book.
It's
That's
called-
a book about twins. Just ask your librarian. I need a book about twins set in the
Christmas
Christmas
time.
season. It's like Parent Trap, but not. Do the work. Prove to me you're a real librarian. Or you could come into your local bookshop, us. Megan might be able to tell you.
It's called Let It Glow by Marissa Meyer.
Let it glow. Let it roll right
Right
off.
off your shoulder. Okay. So I, a few Christmases ago, read a Christmas murder mystery called The Christmas Murder Game. It was by...
Is this a kid's book?
No, it is definitely for grown-ups.
Friendly
So
murder
we've
game.
moved off from
Christmas-
Christmas children's books and are
The
going
Christmas
into...
Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. That one was released in 2022, and she has subsequently released other ones. And this year's offering is called Christmas Cracker Killer.
Goodness.
And that's by Alexandra Benedict. And I have downloaded that one as an audiobook. I've not started listening to it yet, but I would, based upon the Christmas Murder Game, I would highly recommend it because that one was twisty and it was a good mystery because it led me astray on several different tangents. And when the end finally came, I was like, oh, yeah, a good one.
Yeah,
It's a good
not one that just came out of nowhere, but one they're like, oh, yeah, that makes so much sense
that all
now.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's all clicking.
So this year's Christmas mystery by Alexandra Benedict is Christmas Cracker Killer. So I'm looking forward to listening to that one.
Especially for those who are experiencing a lot of stress over the Christmas holiday.
I
and
might
they're
be
like
thinking of-
fed up.
Murder.
Here you can Let out those pent-up aggressions and live out the fantasies of murdering people close to you.
Yeah. Well, the Christmas murder game was especially like that because it was like a family that were locked into a house together for the Christmas holiday, and they were supposed to solve these riddles to see who was going to inherit the house and the estate and everything, and they started dying off one by one.
Dun, dun, dun.
And yeah, the person who was the killer in the end, is that the man dying sound?
Yeah.
The person who was the killer in the end I was like, no, but
You didn't want them to be the killer because you liked their character?
I'm not going to say anymore because they would give away too much of the story.
I'm sorry. What do you want to talk about?
It's been fun to listen to you guys.
Well, we're done now, so it's your turn. Tag, you're it.
So, Charles Dickens.
Yes.
Many things can be said about Charles Dickens. I would be interested in knowing how many of you have actually read A Christmas Carol. And we're reading it together right now.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I don't think I read it. I think you read it aloud to the family for a few Christmases in a row.
I don't know that I've actually read it. Have I watched A Muppet Christmas Carol a zillion times? Oh, yes.
A Muppet Christmas Carol is potentially the best literary.
Wonderful.
The cool thing about it is that they actually use some of Dickens' own words,
yeah.
like his own verbiage. Like Gonzo.
Marley was dead to begin with.
When Gonzo is narrating, he's literally saying words straight out of the book at times. And when Scrooge is talking or when his nephew is talking, they're literally saying words right out of the book. But they're not exactly the same. It is a little different.
And the musical
But it's still a
numbers
masterpiece.
do not appear in the book.
And I love the musical numbers.
Oh, yeah. Sorry for getting us off topic.
Like off topic is kind of on brand for us at this point.
Okay, the thing that shocked me the most the first time that we actually read The Real Christmas Carol as a family is that, wow, I can't think of the Tiny Tim's dad's name.
Bob Cratchit.
Bob Cratchit, like, makes for his entire family, children included, this, like, hot gin drink. And they all share it together for Christmas. And I'm like, really? This was considered appropriate and fine to give to children? What?
You know,
It was a different time.
it really was. You know?
And especially because, like, the Cratchits are supposed to be very poor. So was gin, like, super cheap? Cheaper than food?
Gin was probably cheaper than food, especially at that time.
That's
the average
crazy.
working man at that time, they would begin their breakfast either with whiskey or hot alcohol. That was breakfast for them.
In the morning.
Well, if you have a surplus of grain, the grain is stored most easily as alcohol. So, yes.
I would think bread would be better, but maybe that's just me.
They couldn't afford bread, but they could afford booze.
Right. Like, that's what I remember being shocked about. Also, like, learning about the Christmas pudding and, like, how they put, like, things in the pudding and then...
Raisins.
No,
Ew.
like, little toys or little trinkets.
A little bird.
Yeah. Look into a true British Christmas pudding. It's not at all like an American pudding. It's like a boiled bread. They make...
Well, yeah, I
this
know British pudding and our version of
product
pudding
in
is
a
not the same
boiled
thing.
bag, and they put like things in it, like coins and rings, and
Hamsters.
I don't.
I should hope not. Would definitely give the pudding a different flavor.
Oh, it was a hamster.
Well, and another thing that was interesting to me the first time we read the book, normally in the TV adaptations, the different ones that I saw growing up as a child, there's Scrooge's love interest, and then she's just like gone because he cares more about getting rich and having a business than actually loving her or getting married. And that's kind of the last you see of her. But in the book, Scrooge actually gets to see her family and the man she ends up marrying and the children that they have and the joy
Spoiler
that they
alert.
have. And well,
I'm just kidding.
it was like, wow, that would drive it home to him even more, all that he missed and how empty his current life was. And I don't remember ever seeing that in any of the TV
I
or
don't
movie
think so.
adaptations.
It's true.
Well, and all but the Muppet Show, all but the Muppet version, I kind of vaguely remember one of the Marley's ghosts his face appears on the knocker. And
Right.
the big thing I remember is that his jaw was tied shut with a kerchief because, the corpse and tying the jaw shut and etc. But the book is really so much more poignant, so much more terrifying than any of the adaptations, especially because it just it talks about that a man is, how does the quote go exactly? If a man does not go forth in life, he is condemned to do so after death, to witness what he cannot share, but could have shared and turned to happiness. So he's watching people suffer and not being able to provide any succor. He's seeing joy, seeing the life he could have had, but did not. And it is this hellish reality.
For sure.
What do you think, Megan?
About hellish reality?
I mean, the whole point of A Christmas Carol is to make us stop and take stock about whether we're
About what's
happy.
important.
Yeah, whether we're happy with the choices that we're making or whether there's something that needs to change. And I think that it is effective at doing that, I hope. I feel like maybe since we see it so frequently growing up that we're a little bit numbed to that message. And so maybe reading it.
Or watching the Doctor Who Christmas special version.
Anyway, just seeing it in a different way, however that different way is. I think that Christmas time is a good time to take stock and be like, okay, am I living the life I want to, or am I being Scrooge-ish? Don't be a Scrooge.
Or a Grinch.
Bah, humbug. Right. We didn't talk about how the Grinch stole Christmas.
I mean, that's just a given. It's a children's classic. It's still beloved.
Mr. Grin.
Yahoo Forest, Yahoo Forest.
And it's official. We've now sung on the podcast, so it's unofficially.
Oh, that's already happened.
What about Christmas time is here?
You sang that in the other one.
I know, but we have a couple copies of A Charlie Brown Christmas in the store right now too. People
Yeah.
might want to buy that, especially if they grew up
With watching that.
special. Like it doesn't feel like Christmas if you don't watch that special.
I haven't
Poor
watched it in years.
Charlie Brown's poor little sad tree.
Which we also had one of those at the store too.
Oh, what about the Polar Express?
Yes.
That's a classic.
I actually never really was into that story. I never read it as a kid.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't. We do have at the library a little Polar Express train that goes
Kids
around on a
love.
track. Oh, they're obsessed. They love it so much.
And I need to point out one of the corrections from our last podcast when we were talking about Terry Pratchett. I had said that Terry Pratchett worked at 3 Mile Island. That was a mistake. He actually was working in nuclear power in Great Britain because he is from Great Britain, actually from Scotland.
Scotland.
Yes, he is Scottish.
I didn't know that.
I'm reasonably sure.
Oh, I thought he was English, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I didn't do research.
He did not work at 3 Mile Island. He worked in nuclear power in Great Britain until shortly before 3 Mile Island.
That disaster.
Yeah, that disaster. So that is a necessary correction to last podcast episode. Would encourage you, please, if you have a question, a comment, something you would like us to talk about, we would love to hear from you. You can email us at admin@middlegroundbooks.com and put podcast question, Spiro T. Agnew, or...
He was
Sir
vice president
Lance.
under somebody.
He's English, not Scottish.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. He has some Scottish characters in some of his books.
Okay.
Well, they're based in some Scottish folklore, and he uses some Gaelic
There's
words.
a lot of Gaelic and Scottish words. And
Yeah, in the
that's why I assumed
free
he
men.
must... Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
No,
the one I
he's-
did research on.
He's English.
He's
but
English.
he must have done a lot of research on that because
If he did a lot on Scotland, then he might be a decent Englishman, and that seems to almost be a contradiction in terms.
Ow.
Wow.
Be nice.
wow, insulting my ancestors
I
here.
was just going to say that you have no British ancestors. I believe that my paternal grandmother was English.
I have Irish ancestry on my mother's side, so,
Still upset about it, I guess.
I mean, most Irishmen are, honestly.
Okay, so this will be our last podcast before Christmas. So maybe we should sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" or something before we sign off?
You can sing, but I'm not singing.
You're a good singer.
You are a great
Nope.
singer. We could meow. No, I'm not meowing Merry Christmas either. We watched the chamber choir like meowing
The Carol of the Bells.
That was pretty
It
great.
was now the Carol of the Cats. You'll have to look for it. It's amazing.
All right, so the last few minutes would, like last time, would remind you about our majestic or ugly sweater contest that is on
indeed.
December 19th.
Yeah,
Tag
ugly
us
sweater day.
if you have a majestic sweater that has like a hubcap from a 1957 Buick on it and sparkly lights, baling wire. Yeah, I'd snap a picture, put hashtag middle ground books so we can put you in the drawings. All right, come in on the 19th. And we
Show
will
us your horrific sweater.
Your beautiful sweater.
majestic.
Your festive wear.
And we will have a number of prizes, both for the social media and for coming in reality. And then we will subjectively judge the absolute best.
No, I'm going to make a rubric. It's going to be very scientific.
Official.
Completely
Deborah is
subjective.
the official judge.
Like,
No,
it's just
I'm
going to be what hits
saying
me.
My judgments. You guys can use whatever you want, but I'm going to be an educator with a rubric.
All right. And so for next time, I feel like we should talk about a dungeon crawler Carl Christmas.
I thought we were going to do that this time. We forgot.
No, we
We'll
talked
have to
about
be prepped.
children's books this
Okay.
time. So,
Well, but no, she talked about a murder book. That's not a children's book. We talked about other things.
I mean, it's a kid's murder guide.
We
Like,
featured children's books, but we talked about other Christmas books as well.
we typically talk about everything.
Well, yeah. Do we have one more before Christmas?
It will
They'll
be
be
on
on
Christmas.
Christmas
Christmas
it
Day.
will drop on
Christmas Day.
So we'll,
Okay.
Carl
We
would
could
be.
also do a recap of some of our favorite books of 2025.
We're going to do that on New Year's, which we will have another 7 years.
7 years.
Days. We'll have another 7 days.
Some
until
time travel,
New
timey
Year's.
wimey stuff.
I'm going to have to try to remember back to what I've read all this year. I think I read a lot of books this year, so
I'm going to
it's
have
be
to
hard.
read something from the 20th century. That's what I'm going to have to do.
You don't have to. You can read whatever
Does
you want.
it have to be something released in 2025 or just
No,
the
just
favorite books we
the
read?
favorite, yeah,
in
the favorite that
2025?
you read in 2025.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't have to be new.
Yeah, that's a long list. How many do we each get to choose?
I don't know. We'll have to figure out the details of that.
Maybe
There could only be one.
3.
Ooh, even that would be hard, I
There
think. I
can
don't know.
only be 2. The master and his apprentice.
Okay, I'm going to choose like my favorite audiobook,
Ooh.
my favorite the one audiobook and 2 like that I read.
Like a physical book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I can give myself that kind of constraint. I read a lot. I'm going to have to look back at what all I read. I don't even know. Anyway.
And I'll just do something random.
What? You? I'm shocked.
I'm sure it would be very well researched.
I need to wear my hat on backwards,
Yes.
which is a thing. Mm-hmm. So we are at basically actually our time limit.
Wow.
Which, that
We didn't ramble.
no, we did ramble. We're just giving it up at this point. So until next time.
We'll meet you in the middle.
Hello, book lovers. This is Deborah from Middle Ground Books. You've been listening to Middle Ground Books After Hours, recorded here in Emporia, Kansas with Lance, Megan, and me. Come to Middle Ground Books to meet your friends, find your next great read, or help a child discover the wonder of imagination. Middle Ground Books After Hours is produced and remotely engineered by Cosmic Atom Sound Studios, producing the vision and making it sound. Cosmic Atom Sound Studios. Let's come together and build something new. We're so glad you spent this time with us after hours. Goodbye until next time when we meet you in the middle. So I should probably publish that so that you know how to work to the rubric.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that
I'm
would be
not
fair.
passionate.
That would be fair. I mean,
Publishing nothing.
All above board.
wow.